Modern sacred women. All my queens are made women. Promoting natural living. All my queens are made women. Thank you for joining Modern Sacred Women, your source for mind, body, and soul, featuring Earth Feathur of Healing Springs Pharmacy, sponsored in part by the Center for Healing and Wellness at 1025 East Wendover Avenue in Greensboro, North Carolina. Our podcast provides guidance and support for living a natural life. Experts in plant-based eating, yoga, meditation, mental health awareness, and more. New episodes every last Sunday on SoundCloud and YouTube. This podcast is made possible by the nonprofit Volunteer in Your Community Incorporated. Our slogan is "It's natural to give." To donate, go online at www.viyc.org. Thank you. Welcome to the first episode of Modern Sacred Woman. This episode will be focusing on mental health awareness and the role that food plays in your life. We'll have our guest Pat Collier from the Center of Healing and Wellness, as well as Chef B from Cooking with Chef B. Pat Collier is a licensed clinical social worker with over 38 years of experience. Listen in to this interview that I had with her. I will ask you, Pat, what is mental health awareness, and are you crazy because you come to a therapist?
No, you're not crazy because you come to a therapist, but there are some things in your life that aren't working and you can't quite figure out what it is. It's not physical, it's not like you've got a broken leg or anything like that that's preventing you from doing what you want to do, but there's something emotional and often spiritual. And I think of mental health, or people who are having mental health issues, as a spiritual problem. We talk about it in terms of mental health, but actually it's a crisis of your relationship with yourself and your relationship with your reality and your relationship with things, quite frankly, that are bigger than us, that we can't see but we know exist. So when those things are out of balance, then what you have in your life experience is a sense of things aren't going well. I can't keep a relationship. I'm eating too much. I've got some kind of addiction going on. I'm making bad choices in relationships, or I'm not able to do well financially. All those are indicators that something in your life is out of balance, and usually it's spiritual that shows up in mental health symptoms.
That makes a lot of sense. You mentioned food. So how does food affect your mental state?
Well, if you think back, one of the biggest issues women of color have around nutrition is, one, we tend to be overweight, but we also tend to be malnourished. So what that means is that we're eating a lot of stuff, but the stuff that we're eating isn't good for us, and so we're malnourished. And so when you're malnourished, then things start to happen, like high blood pressure and headaches and just symptoms, diabetes, that kind of stuff. So you're eating a lot and you're overweight, but you're malnourished. And that's one of the things. So what eating a lot is that we eat, we carry a lot of anxiety, depression, things that make us feel bad. And then the way we deal with feeling bad is eat, because eating is a comforting, nurturing thing. So we eat, and we tend to eat sweets, and we tend to eat bad carbohydrates like white potatoes and sugar and bread, and we eat a lot of it. It's not like we eat some of it, we eat a lot of it. And then, so we're overweight, and then overweight puts a pressure on our body, legs, limbs, blood pressure, that kind of stuff. And so that's how nutrition plays into it. It can really make us sick. And we also know that there are things that we can eat that actually help us feel better. Yeah. But we don't always eat those, like broccoli and green stuff. I mean, those things help us feel better. Nice. But we don't usually, those things don't comfort us. Sugar comforts us. Bread comforts us. White potatoes comfort us.
So for, let's say a client wanted to come to you about, because they are overeating because of, depression, what are some of the things that you would work with them with?
Well, I would first do I would do an assessment that says, okay, what are the symptoms? Because usually the symptoms show up in behavior. So if they're telling me, I'm not sleeping well, I'm fussing with my kids, and I'm mad all the time, then that gives me a clue about where it is that I need to be looking in order to determine a clinical assessment.
Awesome.
From a clinical assessment, if you say, I'm not eating well, I'm not sleeping well, and I'm irritable, and I just think life sucks. Well, those are just clear signs of depression right there. I mean, those are the 4 classic signs. So then I might give you the Beck depression scale just to finish it out and to document it. But then I develop a treatment plan, and I'd say, what do you want to feel better? How do you want things to be different in your life? And you would say, well, you know what? I want to not be mad all the time. I want to feel good. I don't want to be fussing at my kids. And so that would be part of the treatment goals. And then we talk about things that we could do in therapy that would help you reach that goal.
Awesome.
So,
Well, thank you for your time, Pat, and giving us a great explanation about mental health awareness. And I actually feel a lot better about it now, where I don't feel crazy if I ask you for a session.
Okay.
So you'll be getting a call from me.
All right.
Thank you.
We are ever grateful for the advice that Pat gives, and we look forward to having her on our next episode. Okay, now we're going to focus on some detailed food information, and our guest for that is going to be Chef B. Her name is D. Natasha Bruley, and this is an amazing soul. So listen in. Okay, so we are here live with Chef B on the line, D. Natasha Bruley. She is a busy woman, and we have finally gotten to catch up with her so we can interview her for our podcast, Modern Sacred Women. So welcome to our show. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Thank you so much for having me.
It is all my pleasure, beautiful. So if you don't mind, please just tell the audience who you are and what you do.
Oh, wonderful. All right. Well, first, I'd like to tell you about the name Chef B. The B is actually an acronym that stands for Be Empowered, Energized, and Engaged. And that's really just a mantra that I really try to live by. I am a holistic health and wellness coach. I specialize in essential oils and raw and plant-based chefing, as I call it.
Nice. Ooh, that sounds yummy. Okay,
Yeah.
Great. Wonderful. So one of the big reasons why I wanted to interview you is about your cooking. So you mentioned about the cooking. What is going on with all this cooking? Do you have a book or anything? How can I taste your food? Like, tell me.
Well, actually, we do have a book out now. It's an ebook. My farmer friend, Jamila Norman, and I have been collaborating for a couple of years, and we finally launched, after 3 years, our Spring into the Raw seasonal cleanses that really guide individuals who want to eat with the seasons, because that's really, really important. And as a result of that work, we decided to come up with cleansing kits. In the cleanse kit, you can actually get an ebook. You'll get a seasoning blend infused with essential oils, and you'll also get a fruit and vegetable wash infused in essential oils. We do these cleanses at the start of the season, and so that's really the first book. The second one is coming for summer, but my baby, Let Plants Nourish You, will be out June 2018, and that is a plant-based cookbook to show people how simple and how easy it is to infuse essential oils, food-grade essential oils, I must say, into their plant-based meals to enhance the flavor and the medicinal profiles of the food.
Oh, wow. That sounds exciting. I personally use essential oils almost every single day, but I have yet to really put them into my food. So I will definitely be following you as well as getting that book because I'm so interested.
Absolutely. It's super simple. And I think, we wanted to give people an opportunity to just try out some simple recipes, things that they're familiar with. And then, of course, the addition would be the oils. Once again, you can't use essential oils in food preparation, any quality essential oils. It must be food grade essential oils. The brand that I use is doTERRA essential oils. I'm an essential oil educator with them, and it's been an absolutely incredible experience. So I figured, the book is just a natural progression of the work.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Perfect sense. Oh, yes. doTERRA is an amazing company. I use their oils as well. And because of the food grade part, that's why we can use them internally. That is amazing. Okay,
Yeah,
great. I have another question for you, if you don't mind.
of
When
course.
we're talking about food a lot, and I'm pretty sure that you have a lot of experience with food and the mental state and how food affects the brain. What's your take on that?
Well, first of all, I think in regards to the mental state, I think first of all, we got to be in the right mindset to receive healthy food. I work with the other hat that I wear. I'm a professor at a college. I'm a mathematician, and I'm usually around students who are very stressed, and on campus they don't always have the healthiest options. And so, students are choosing a lot of fast foods, right?
Hmm.
And so, really, there's a mindset that needs to happen, a shift that needs to happen in order for people to be ready to receive healthy food. Because in many cases, your palate's going to change in terms of the kinds of foods that you're going to like. And a lot of us, we're so conditioned to just eat foods that are super savory, super sugary, that we're not ready to receive those high vibrational foods. But
Yes.
once we're ready to, try, more vegetables, more fruits, sprouts, these foods that really just help to heal the body, they help to elevate the frequency of your body. That's when we really can start seeing healing occur in the body. But if you're not ready to receive that, it's not going to happen. I know for me, and as most people, my food journey has ebbed and flowed. I'm from Guyana originally. I grew up in Brooklyn, and we ate a lot of foods that were very savory, very rich, very delicious foods. But at some point, I saw my body changing, and I'm like, wait a minute, I don't need to eat this. I don't need to keep eating this.
Yeah.
And as much as I love those foods, as much as they connect me emotionally back to my childhood, family, things of that nature, I know that they're not the healthiest foods for me.
That makes perfect sense. Perfect sense.
And so, you have to decide, okay, what's most important to me, with this body? Do I
Right.
want to be satiated with, these sort of flavors that are bold and amazing, but that aren't always necessarily the healthiest because they're laden with, a lot of sugar, a lot of sodium, or am I transforming your body? Do you want to make a change and really opt for things that are a little bit more, they don't taste that way because they don't have a bunch of chemicals in them, but they're going to heal the body. They're going to fortify the body. They're going to help you slim down. They're going to help to clarify your mind. Like when you start eating that way, to me, that's the addiction right there. So I don't even want to go back to McDonald's or Chick-fil-A or any of those. I don't even want to eat any of that stuff because I get a high from how I feel eating living foods, you know?
Brilliant. I love that. That was, you went right into the next question on how can people start to transition from the unhealthy lifestyle to the healthy style. So, Professor, I mean, you covered all the bases here, and I'm ready to sign up for whatever class it is you're teaching, move to whatever city and town you're in. How can other people get in contact with you? Tell us. We want more.
Well, before I answer that question, let me go back to the one that you were going to ask me. In my opinion, I think, Andy, I was just talking to my students about this today. it's so important to take baby steps. I think oftentimes you look at social media, you look at what others are doing, and you're like, wait a minute, I can't ever get there. But you can. You just have to take baby steps. You have to just be patient with yourself. None of these habits shift overnight. You know, nothing shifts overnight. It takes more than a month, I would say, in this day and age for you to really see a shift in your wants and your desires food wise. You have to practice diligently a habit consistently for at least 21 days before it sticks. And that might be just drinking more water. That might be cutting out sodas. That might be eating a salad every day for lunch. Doing small things that and then really kind of being mindful, okay, how do I feel? You know, kind of doing a mental note, how do I feel? Do I feel better? Do I have more energy? You know, is this not working for me? Do I need to try something else? And so I really think that plant-based, one of the biggest things that I really try to encourage people to see, and that I even try to do with, my cooking show and all the things that I do, is plant-based is accessible, it's attainable. You can do it. If you eat an apple, you're eating plant-based. If you eat lettuce, you're eating plant-based. If you eat some nuts, you're eating plant-based. Most of the foods that we eat are plant-based. We talk a lot about the chicken and the pork and the beef and the this and that, but most of what we have in addition to those things on our plate are plant-based foods. And so you're already eating plant-based.
Mm-hmm.
Question is, how much of it are you really eating? And we want to try to maximize the nutrients that we are achieving from our food. So we want to try to maximize eating plant-based as much as possible. So I really want to kind of go back there and answer that question. In regards to me, I do quite a few things. My big thing is education. As I said, I'm a professor, I'm a chef, I'm a health coach. But I know that at the end of the day, it's about empowerment. And that's why I say be energized, empowered, engaged. Be empowered, energized, engaged. Because if you're empowered, you can do anything for yourself. And so you can check out our cooking show. The cooking show is live on Facebook on Sundays at 1 o'clock. I usually am recording at Ewe Fresh, which is a Garden Day spot in the city here. But then, I have guests who want me to come out to wherever they're doing their thing. So it might be on a farm. It might be at someone's store. It might be at an event that's happening. And so it's like, where in the world is Chef B? I don't even know where I'm going to be on Sunday. But I'm going to be stirring it up live somewhere and showing you how simple it is to be plant-based. So that's one of the things that you can do. That's live on Facebook. And my page is the Essentially Chef B Facebook page. You can also connect with me on my website, Chef B, 3 E's, be empowered, energized, engaged.com. And there you'll see, all the things that I'm doing, the cooking shows, also the plant-based meals to go program that I have, where you can, if you can't make plant-based foods yourself, I'll do it for you. We prepare the meals for you, all of that good stuff. So there's a wealth of information on the site. Yes.
And what city and state are you in?
I am in Southwest Atlanta, ATL.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. So if you guys out there at ATL want to get some of this good cooking, you're local, and you want to come pick me up first, I'm here in North Carolina. Come get me first. But this is excellent. Okay, great insight and your knowledge on plant-based eating and how it affects us. We want to invite you to come back when that book drops. How's that sound?
Man, that sounds awesome. I appreciate that.
Well,
I'll
it's
be
our
happy.
pleasure. Okay, great. Well, we look forward to seeing you again, and we want to thank you for being a part of Modern Sacred Women. Peace.
Peace. Peace.
It's time for Soul Time with Earth Feather. What are you feeding your spirit on a daily basis? Are you filling it with things that are nourishing you, filling you with love, filling you with light, or are you filling your spirit with things that are slowly degrading you and putting you into a situation where your spirit is no longer alive?
I personally, in order to feed my spirit, like to read positive books, also speak positive affirmations, and be around positive people. That's what helps my spirit to grow, and feeding myself with things that will enrich my life, watching things that enrich my life, listening to things that enrich my life. Because everything that you put within your soul, within your spirit, will come out and be manifested within the other parts of your life. So as far as spiritual food is concerned, what you're reading, what you're watching, what you're listening to, I always advise my clients to make sure that we're listening and feeding ourselves with things that serve us and that fill us with healthy vibration. Everything that you're taking into your body, the sights, the sounds, all of these different things in your atmosphere have a direct effect on your mental status and on the way that you feel on a daily basis, as well as your health. So holistically, it's vital to have some type of a spiritual practice in your life and feeding yourself with things that are positive. Our next episode is going to go more into depth on spiritual practices and the different types of spiritual practices that more people are starting to adapt rather than to conform to what society tells us to be spiritually. Spirituality is something that's important to all of us, and whenever that part of your life is lacking, you'll notice the other parts of your life start to crumble as well. So again, looking at the things that we feed ourselves spiritually, the things that we're watching, the things we're listening to, the things that we're taking in, the people we're around, have a direct effect on you. So I ask you all to be guided in the spirit of love and light. Namaste. All right, awesome. So now you're filled with lots of great information for you to go and experiment this week. You have a brand new day starting, a brand new week here. So it's time to take charge of your health, time to take charge of your mental health, as well as your physical and spiritual health. Remember, there are resources out there. Wherever you are locally, reach out to a licensed clinical social worker or someone that deals with holistic health and wellness. To learn more about also the things that I do, you can email me at earthfeather@gmail.com. Thank you for tuning in to Modern Sacred Women, your source for mind, body, and soul. Peace. This concludes episode 1. Tune in next month where we will feature spiritual practices for the modern sacred women. This summer 2018, all women's natural building courses. Sign up online. For questions, email earthfeather@gmail.com. To make an appointment, call 919-578-3276. We have a number of different challenges and offerings that may suit your needs. Thank you for joining, and have a wonderful and blessed evening.